Alright, welcome to the Saturday stream. This time, I'm streaming for Saturday. Hang on, I'm gonna raise this back up. I'm gonna see how this looks. My noise levels will be getting a bit high. I need to figure out where I'm gonna maybe like put the mic farther away from the computer or something. Or maybe not put it on the desk with the hard drives. Because I think their vibrations are like picked up by the microphone. Well, I know they are, but anyway. Let's get Godot up, and then I will transition into that. So let's see. What I want to do today is finish that little platforming segment. Oh yeah, I'm working on a script for actually I finally finished the script for that. Finally performed the script that I want for my second devlog. And that was too much work. A lot of work. I think it's because I tried to frame everything as like actual advice. And then I wasn't happy with it because I don't feel like I'm actually qualified to do that. So then I rewrote the entire script to be more specifically about like what I think is useful. But then again, I haven't actually finished the game yet. So I don't know if I'm ready to give advice on like how to finish games, since that's like what it is. But okay, let's let the shaders freak out for like 20 minutes. And now, what is this? Hang on, I'm gonna see, what was that frame dip right there? I think I must be at like, okay, I think I'm at a border of a chunk. So yeah, yet again, I need to, there's two sort of high priority technical tasks that I want to get after like the general story is done, which is basically, hang on, I'll just start working on this thing, which is basically to get the shaders to compile all at once at the start of the game, which will be quite an undertaking because I'll have to do some sort of engine modification. And two, to get my chunks loading a little less aggressively, which actually isn't that difficult. I'll have to figure out. I should probably prioritize like more mainline content in the game than this thing, but oh well. I'm gonna get this thing done just to. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have tea that I'm cooking. I'm gonna check that for a minute. So much stuff. I would have gotten my tea ready before I actually started, but I didn't, because I woke up like 8 minutes before I started streaming. Because I have a bad habit of waking up and then just going back to sleep for like 2.5 hours. But anyway, let's see. I need, what do I need? Just a little, I guess just a little something to get this area. So let's do, let's move this more like this way. Hang on, yeah, what if I just make these bigger? So I want something here. What if I can do falling platforms? And they go like this. Hang on, does control no longer work? What is this? I'm trying to hold control so that these, like, rotate at an even 90 degrees. Okay, that doesn't work anymore, I guess. That's very interesting. That's... No, that did... Okay, hang on. How does that not work? How does a basic feature that I've had every single time not work? Is it the keyboard? Because I know the keyboard... There's something wrong with my USB hub, so sometimes keys get stuck, I think. Yep, it could be some random corruption, I guess. So hold control. It's not working. Hang on. Control. It's not working. If I don't hold control, if I press the grid, it's not moving on the grid. Settings. What is the settings? What is the snap? Where's the snap setting at? Configure snap. What? Well, that answers that. It just decided to do a different value than, like, any time that I've ever used it before. Alright. Whatever. And the player could theoretically jump around the back and latch onto this side of it, and then, well, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Because basically right now, these don't fall unless you touch the top of them. So having them sideways like this will be kind of funky. Let's just see if this works. Because this, I would probably need to lower these significantly. Yeah, first off, I can't even get there. Alright, back to important things like my sleep schedule. For some reason, I'll wake up at a reasonable time, but then, like, I will just be, like, completely incapable of getting out of bed and, like, just go back to sleep. Like, today I woke up at 7:30 because I thought I heard the heater running. So I went out to turn it off. It wasn't running. And then I could not get myself out of bed until, like, 5 minutes before 10. Like, I was just so incredibly tired. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work at all. This was a fun experiment. Well, what if I did a falling platform that you have to high jump to, and then you have to high jump off of it onto another platform? Oh yeah, also now every single time I restart my computer, it puts Microsoft Edge on the desktop. Oh wait, did I disable the ability to high jump? No. I'm just not doing it right. Yeah, that's the ticket. Let's see, and I think you could probably do... that could confuse people. The fact that you can just get up here at all. That is cool, though. I'll keep it like that, because basically there's two different ways to solve it. One is pretty easy, which is you slow down time, and then you just jump from one to the other. Or, if you have this, let's get some ammo for this. Oh. You can just do this. Oh, there's... Okay, I'm like right at a frame border or something, because it's just like constantly freezing over here. Let's see, it should freeze again when I do this. And then let's try with... oh wait, no. I can't climb up this thing, because I specifically designed it so that you can't climb it. Oh, you can also do this. Almost. Yeah, I need to get a better way of... I'll need to figure out what I want to do with the camera when the player falls, because right now it locks to its current position and then just follows the player, which looks janky. I think I'll want it to maybe just stop tracking the player. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's have that, let's just do that again. Wait, no. Alright, what do I want up here? I would like a checkpoint right here. Right before this part. Because I think this will be tricky, and I want the player to know the trick. So I want them to have to do this a bunch of times. Because I've been trying to think about, like, what checkpoint layouts mean. Like, because basically it's asking the player to do something once if you put a checkpoint right after it. But if you put it right before it, you're asking them to do it multiple times, even if they already know how to do it, to basically demand mastery of a particular thing. Especially if you put something even more difficult after it, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to try to figure out what that'd be. Alright, let's see. So I'll do a little cylinder here. Oh wait, but this means that, I know what I'll do. I'll basically have, I'll just move this further out. Basically, I'll just have a thing after this, because I want it to be that you still have to work a bit to jump to here. So yeah, let's put this after it. And that'll let me be a little bit more sparing with these. Wait, what is this part of? Oh. Okay, so that'll be there, and then you'll have to do the double high jump thing, and then you'll have to do, I have no idea. So yeah, these guys. And then fountain. Oh, I didn't, I don't know why it cares that I can't drag and drop with two things selected, because it doesn't even use it anymore. Like, it doesn't even use it as the basis for anything. Okay, but I forgot to name this, like, platform 3 collision. Alright, but once I get up here, I guess I can have a couple more of these little things. And I can try to figure out what the hell? Oh, I pressed Window D, not Alt D. Alright, my bad. Wait, what did I just do? Hang on. Huh? This is... Huh? Oh. Do these actually... Okay, so these do go into the terrain. Alright, I'll just figure this out, I'll figure out what I need as I build it. And, like, just add little, like, surplus things if this is too difficult. But okay, what do I want here? Maybe something hanging above. So, like, if I do a cylinder here, and I'll do this one as like 24. Oh wait, I need my chat back. Hang on, did I screw some... Oh. So basically it'll be a little thing. Oh, and we've now gotten into the Fallout soundtrack. Let's see, so I think I've lost the plot on what this was going to be. Oh well. Basically, you get on this thing and then you can run around a little bit. Is it actually, I don't know if it's possible to, oh wait, no. It'd be pretty easy to navigate back because you can just hop up to here. And I can just make that easier with like... Ta-da! Now it's all symmetrical-ish. I should eventually make like aesthetically appealing designs, I think, that the player can climb on. Because I think the player's moveset is very flexible, so I could just make something that I think looks cool and then have the player figure out how they're supposed to get up it. Or just figure it out myself. Well, I would have to, but okay. What else do I want? I think I want a pipe to go from here to here. Well, now what is this challenging the player to learn? I don't know. Let's just have something a little less, or a little lower down. Alright, so this is platform 4. Aesthetically, I just kind of don't like it. I'll have to figure out. I should have figured out how I wanted this to look first, I think. I think there's some things where I shouldn't just go right into making the design for the level. Because like this looks very clearly like just a random gauntlet of platforms. It looks like a Crash Bandicoot level or something. And not the good looking parts of a Crash Bandicoot level, just like the random stuff. Ooh, that's finicky. And then that's pretty easy, and then here. Okay, what did that again? So yeah, there's definitely a chunk is being loaded and unloaded constantly as I like go here. So this is oh. Huh. You know, I think that's actually kind of funny. Oh, the game is dying now. What is that? Okay, yep, another chunk. it's just getting not acceptable. I think I'm probably gonna have to fix it now, I think. Oh man, the player's completely screwed if they don't have like guns here. So they just get utterly decimated. And their only hope is to just get out of here while they still can, if they don't have like everything. Wait, where's the gunners? Oh wait, they don't respawn. I mean, technically none of these guys respawn. Damn it. What if I just... So I need to be very precise. I wish I should make it based more on the player's input than their current speed. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to the bugs because I don't like... I've been fiddling with that for a bit, but I think I finally know what I want to do with it. So let's just put it in bugs. So a player can move while sitting. Make roll. If player is fully pressing the analog stick, that would make it a little bit difficult on keyboard and mouse to like gently move and then like start crawling while you're moving, because you know, you either do it all or nothing. Alright, I think that's kind of funny. I might make some like unreasonably hard looking platforming up there that the player doesn't have to do at all. And I'll add some like optional collectibles up there or something for players who have like the right equipment to get there. Okay, but the enemies reset, they do not respawn, so that means, right. Damn, he's just flying up as far as he wants. Okay, is there any hope of me beating this guy with the ammo I have? Good thing this thing recharges. Is he dead? No. Okay, and fighting in the graveyard is both infeasible and optional for this area, but I'll have to figure out if I want to make it like mandatory, because I do think it's cool still. Finally. Nice, and it's one of those ugly ones, but that has like the weird, let's go to the wardrobe and see how this looks. Oh, I know a funny thing that I could have. I could have a light that's attached to the camera that's only enabled when the wardrobe, or to the player when the wardrobe is enabled. That is only visible for the player so that I can get a better look at this thing. But yeah, it's one of those ones. Wait, no, I guess it doesn't. No, it's not the outline. It's because that's, it looks like it has an outline just because the player is like refracting in the water weirdly. Okay, never mind. I spent like an hour yesterday trying to get the interior of the water working, and I'm just not even going to use it because it doesn't work with overlapping things. But who knows, maybe I was almost there. I might just have to put it in pen and paper. Alright, let's see if I can actually like get up here. Wait, I just realized you can probably, oh, you could just do that from the very beginning, I think. Maybe I'll have it so that there's walls around it here, because like, well, actually, can you actually get up to this thing though from these ones? Oh yeah, this would be easy. Oh yeah, that's trivial. And then you can just if I do it well. Yeah, okay. So you can just finagle that. And then you get up here. And then it renders all of that content optional. But I guess if I design this as a little city, it'll be fine. Because I can just put walls around it everywhere except for like here. And I'll have to figure out how I want to get the player up here. Well, otherwise. I mean, I guess maybe these are just red herrings, and then the actual way to get up here is to just climb this thing. Hang on, let's... I suspect people are going to compare it to Breath of the Wild, where you can climb overhangs, but since you can't really climb overhangs in this game, they'll probably feel a bit disappointed by that. So I'll have to figure out if I want to do something about that, but I don't think I will. Because I want this to be more like, because I want to be able to limit where the player can climb, and I don't want to just have surfaces that the player can't climb. Or at least, I don't want to have to use them very often, if I do have them ever. So I want it to be entirely the geometry of the surface. Like, oh, I can, start climbing from the base of this, but I can't climb from the top of it. And then, oh, I can't climb up this little lip thing. Or I guess you can climb up that little lip thing. Yeah, I guess there's just some funky stuff that the player would have to learn and sort of accept that it's not a Breath of the Wild thing. All right, you know what? I'm just going to say, for now, this is going to be what it is. So let's do save and quit. 85. Keep drowning, more offshoots. Maybe require backtracking to solve a puzzle or something. Texture the big chamber. Okay, so let's say, so I want it to be that there's some sort of entry zone. Wait, this thing doesn't even collide. Oh, right. Oh, wait, no. It does. I just haven't reset until then. And let's align this a little better. Yeah, basically good enough. So I want 2 areas here. This will be like entry large cave. So I think I have some sort of like entry script. What is that? That would be... Let's go to my world chunk. And let's figure out, because I know I put it here for this little house. Yeah, this thing. Stat delay min active time. What script is this? A trigger zone. Okay. And let's call it like visited house 107. So then it'll just be everything where you've visited something starts with that visited slash. I still have to figure out what I want to do with this thing. And probably make it a little bit more, like, aesthetically interesting. Cave 085. Let's do like large cave 085. Alright, so hopefully the player... Or hopefully this works, because that'd be pretty cool. I guess... Well, I know this will actually, like, work as, like, a technical thing. It's just an area. But I hope this stuff actually winds up being an interesting, like, whole. Where, you know, the player feels compelled, or, like, the player wants to actually talk about this stuff and go back to the medium and see how it's different. So I'll have to take some more time, I think, to make sure the player understands what's happening with it. Or at least that they can, I don't know, that it's a bit more obvious. So that way, if the player doesn't get it, I can feel comfortable knowing that they're just dumb. And this will be entry graveyard. So I want this to be at the bottom. Let's say about there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that approximates the... Well, it's... Oh, no. It doesn't actually. Especially not... Yeah. There we go. I think that'll get it. And this will be a separate place in case the player didn't actually get to the end of this thing and see this funny little place. I don't know what exactly will be the meaning of it, though. And also, I'm gonna... Hang on. I want this to be, like, 2.2. Because it doesn't make sense for them to intersect like this. That's good enough. Oh wait, and also I needed to... Wait, did I make sure that these entries don't have delays? Yeah. Oh, and these still need to remove... I still need to remove one. Okay, there we go. So now let's go back to... Well, first, I kind of want to see if it's even possible to get out of the cave as it is, because I haven't tested that. So I guess first, let's just... Well, we have the hoverboard, so all of this platforming was just a waste of time for us. Or it was just a little fun diversion. I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but if I drink tea without eating something or without having milk in the tea, I get nauseous from it. Like, it tastes fine, but I just feel queasy after it. I don't know, I'm thinking it must be like... Maybe it's like when I drink it, the water just gets warm in my stomach, and, you know, the body, like, there's a lot of reasons a person would not want to drink warm water from, like, an evolutionary perspective. Especially warm water with a bunch of decaying leaves in it, so maybe it's like, the body's like, you know, this isn't food. Get that out of your body. But I don't know, because I don't think I've ever had, or I've never talked to someone who's agreed with that. Okay, can I actually get out of here? I mean, I guess I could put just a little rock or something. Because I think this is the only part where I need, like, special stamina to get out of here. Though I will need, though you do need to, like, fumble around in the dark. Okay, so... Yeah, let's just add, like, one rock. Yeah, and this is what it looks like naturally. That's terrifying. Though I guess for here, I currently don't actually have any environment overrides. So it makes sense that the ambient light is still around. Yeah, I need to make it based on the analog stick, because I was not holding forward there. I just had latent velocity. It's lending credence to my idea that I should probably have made... Well, I guess it's never too late. I could make crouching, rolling, and climbing separate buttons, or some combination of those separate buttons. Okay, now, with this here, I can possibly get out. Ooh, if I... Yeah, it'll be a little bit fiddly, but... Okay. And this is the place where you need a lot of stamina to get up there. This is, okay, this is another place with some screwy reflections, and I think that's, what What chunk is that? This one? 84? Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't even put these reflection probes, like, probing in the proper spaces. Is this in here? And then this one is just fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, I designed this specifically so that it was impossible to climb out. I should probably not design it like that then. Because if I do, it's going to be tricky to get out. Alright, let's go down the tube. Okay, maybe if I get the... There was one stamina up, so I can guarantee the player has at least this much stamina. And let's save right here. Okay, there we go. So now I'm here. And then it seems pretty manageable. Okay. And now I'm officially out of here. And I have another... Oh yeah, that just gave me another lantern. Oh wait, I think it's still the wrong prop though. Yeah. Let's say it's not enabled. And hopefully the player has a light when they come down into the caves. Because if they don't, they're in for a world of misery. And we have our beautiful light. And then we are out and home free. I'll have to figure out what to do with all this big, beautiful, empty space. Alright, what was I going to do? I was going to teleport. And we would let the game glacially crawl open. Alright, so I'm gonna add the whatever I'm adding here. So it's project dialog main mum. So I should add a bunch more visited for like normal places as well. Because basically, you can ask about the mother, you can ask about people, and then let's discuss places. And then if it's like how does this work? Go to main loop. Visited slash, what was it? Large cave, or cave large 85? Yeah, large cave 085. And then there's I'll assume that if the player has visited the cave, they have also visited the graveyard. Well, and not discussed. What would she want you to know here? And what would she... How would knowing about this cave actually affect you as the player? Or this AI? And I think by default it should loop back. Okay, so what should I do? Maybe... Because I'm sort of realizing now, a lot of this, it would be very easy to just write a response that's basically the equivalent of like, "That's nice, honey." Where like, where like the player is way more interested in talking about it than the character. But I think also it's because there's not a lot of like thematic content in the cave unless you get to the graveyard. And even then, it's more like a strange visual. than like something with a mystery behind it or whatever. So I'll have to figure out. I think I need to put a bit more work into, I don't know, theming stuff. Or at least making more themed and, like, story stuff. I think the graveyard would be interesting. And also I'm going to make it so that these can dovetail into each other. Like, if you've seen the cave, you can talk about the cave. Or you can, and that'll also bring up the graveyard organically as part of it. Or you can bring up just the graveyard if you've already talked about the cave. Actually, let's do that specifically. Discussed / large cave 085. I guess it would be a cavern. I'm gonna do visited. Graveyard. This is sort of a strange question. Could you tell what it was for? Like, because what I'm imagining is a lot of people probably explore these caves. So I'll have to figure out if I want that to be part of her base personality or if I want to do that later. But basically, I imagine a lot of these people have been exploring and they found all sorts of these ancient ruins in the caves, but they can never really, or they often can't really determine like what it was for. So that's like the question that everyone has. So if you visited the graveyard, So I think there would be variations of this depending on how much she knows. And what I can do is I'm just going to have this be essentially duplicated, because I can confirm that this will not happen. Like, there's no way to get both of these, because this is only if you've discussed the cave already, but you didn't visit the graveyard the first time, and you haven't discussed the graveyard already. Actually, let's put this first. Actually, let's just have this. Not, ancient info. Caves. And this gives you plus ancient info caves. I don't know why she is so terribly interested in these caves. I think maybe it must be... I think it's probably mum info caves. Info caves. So where is that added? So that's here. And I think Walter has that as well. Plus mum info caves. So let's say that all of this is predicated on mum info caves. If you haven't determined that she's interested in diving. And then I'll have to figure out the otherwise for that. And let's also add plus mum slash disgust slash large cave 85. And I'll just duplicate this again. And I'll keep duplicating it until I get it right. And I can't really confirm how the player would get out of here, though I certainly would suspect they wouldn't climb back up this way. So what does she say if she wasn't really into caves? I guess this really would be the equivalent of like, that's nice, honey. And this will be like ancient info caves. So basically, if you talk to her about certain things, I guess you just get locked out of the conversation, like the full conversation, I guess. But I guess these are just different paths that you can take. And I'll have to figure out to because this is basically just the first conversation I've made about this. Or about caves in general, because there's going to be a bunch of stuff in caves. So I'll have to figure out if this is going to be like something that's only one time done, and then like how to handle repeats of like, oh, I found a thing in a cave, and it's like, I told you about those caves, if the player hasn't actually discussed it with her at all. And let's say here, I'll say the like the graveyard is the key in her mind. Oh, wait. Through us. And then that, and then, I guess that's that. So what I'm going to do, that's not the right thing. I like how when I press PO, when I press POW, when I press POWE, when I press POWER, different thing. I have no idea what I've been doing for so much of this stuff. So let's just... Perfect. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start working on, I think, some technical stuff. Because I want basically all of my active entities to be in a separate thing. So how do I want this to work? Let's do... Actually, I know exactly how I want it to work, basically. Let's get the world. Let's get the chunk loader. So this will need var active no or active transform and it should be a spatial node. So what I'm going to do is function set active A. If not A, if has node active entities Oh wait, no. Active transform equals I'm hoping I can remove an object from the tree before I insert it into this, or remove an object, remove a node's child before I actually add it into the tree. Because what I'm going to do now is else. So I'm going to need a few different things here. Let's do chunk squarest update. So that's all fine. So let's do const distance load. This will be like 300 now. Const dist unload. Actually, let's try a little bit big, and then it'll be const dist active equals, so this will be much closer, like maybe like 150, and then const dist deactivate will be like 175. So basically now there's two separate operations. There's going to be loading it and activating it. And loading it is just going to be, the chunk is then, brought in, put into the tree. But when it's first loaded, it will also be inactive. So let's do dist load. So yeah, and I don't need this, and I don't need var unload zone. db var activate zone db var deactivate zone db. I'm going to slightly lower the music. So we're going to need a bunch of these. Now I want the music a little bit louder. Oh, hi there. Welcome back. I'm working on some cool stuff. So I need distance activate, dist deactivate. So let's do chunk loader. So this will be is loaded. So yeah, there'll be sort of like 3 states. There'll be loading, or loaded, unloaded, and active, which necessarily implies that it's loaded. And elif not load zone unload has point local and alright, so these for now. Let's just test to make sure that I haven't broken everything, because I've renamed a few things. Yeah, thanks. It's looking good. 109. Alright, so I can assume that it's loading things. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try... Let's test with 122 and 109, since those are the ones I'm so... Oh no, 112 I mean. So I'm basically just going to add a new thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was inspired by Jak 3. But yeah, I think it's a nice addition, especially since this area is pretty big. And let's see, I want... So basically I'm going to take everything that is very small or that has any sort of activation required. What is... Oh, this is... Yeah. Hi, Alex. I'll make this another, like, zone valley, I guess. Yeah, basically I'm going to make it so that when it loads in a chunk, it doesn't have to load in the active entities. So I can load all the, like, visual props and things, or the big objects, separately from it. That'll be a bit tricky to get that working. Oh, like poor tutorial Tyler. He'll have to be... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. This will have no transform. So that way I can finally put tutorial Tyler inside of something. Let's have another spatial, and this will be zone. And these will all be in the active entities. Oh, well, that's nice. What sort of game are you working on? Yeah, go ahead, Alex. Yeah, 2D platformer is a good start. Yeah, I recently made a prototype for a game, which even though I'm intending for it to be in 3D, I started with 2D anyway, because it's just way easier to work with. And let's see, I'm gonna make it so that these... I forget if I did... So did I start putting... Okay, I separated out all the NPCs from these. That's good. Armor Reforger. Previous armor 3 rooms. Yeah, I've wanted some sort of visual occlusion, though it's quite tricky to get it, because I'll have to implement it. And I've been thinking about how I would do that. Like, I would draw the terrain depth, and then I would use like Z buffer occlusion or hierarchical Z buffer occlusion. And let's see, I'm going to call this the shop, because it'll basically have everything inside the shop as a separate thing. So then I can make this hut its own thing. So this means, yeah, all this stuff will be loaded and unloaded separately. Or all these active entities. Let's see what that looks like. So yeah, it doesn't look any different, or it doesn't look dramatically different, but there's tons and tons of stuff that's no longer being loaded at first. And I think these small things can also be put into here. Let's see. I haven't published well, I've published a few small games on itch.io, but they're not really complete. So yeah, I think this will probably be one of the first like really complete games I've made. Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can make it so that, because now what I want to do is when the chunk loads, it gets this active entities. Add content. Let's do yeah, thanks. So I think now, when I load into this, hopefully what it should do is there should be no entities. Oh. Non-existent function set active. Oh, I need to do n set active false. And that's what I get for naming everything the same, or just one letter. Okay, and it loaded, I think, a little quicker. But okay, this is good to know. Because now what I can do is I can figure out how to load this separately. Because, like, for this place, clearly it's got to be at the same time. But let's, like, queue load active. Chunk and active. See, when another player is approaching close enough, you'll suffer 1 second freeze. Ouch. That makes sense. Yeah, that'd be a hard problem to solve, other than, I guess, maybe, like, downloading all of their stats at the start of the game and then gradually updating it, but that could be very complicated, and then add a lot of load time at the start of the game. And let's see, I'm gonna do... So there's this active here. Get content, and let's do active right in here. This song still distresses me, so I'm going to skip this one. Oh, we're back in the Dreaming Sarah soundtrack, or some of it. See, and here I'm going to do active equals active entities dot oh yeah, I know. If A and not active entities and has node. Well, I don't mind that much. Wait, doesn't this get content? Oh wait, okay, get content isn't the one that needs it. It's add content. name content false. So it needs to do so I need the world to do if ch activate zone has point local. If load zone dot has no activate zone dot has point. And not ch dot, oh wait. Div true elif deactivate zone. Point local. Oh wait, I need to do and well, how do I do this? Chunk loader dot activate ch. Yeah, so I no longer need that because I'm just going to do a distance-based thing. And hopefully this should start dramatically reducing load times. They'll have to do everything, or a lot of things first. Let's see. Update chunks. Yeah, so I think all I need is the deactivate, and activate and deactivate now. So it'll be right after if not chunk dot has node. All right, now if chunk has node dynamic content. And I could just make this one function, but I guess I won't. All right. So what this should do now is I should have 4 squares. So if I, around a chunk, basically, first you can enter a load zone, and that'll just load up the stuff, put it in the tree. Then you can get into the activate zone. And when you do that, it activates it basically loads in all of the small items and all of the dynamic content and stuff like that. And then you can exit by exiting out of the deactivate zone. And finally, you can exit out of the unload zone. And so hopefully, I should have gotten, there we are. It took a little bit. Oh wait, because for the closest thing, so it needs to do an update active chunks. What does it need to do, actually? What if I just did, so chunk loader new. Right, because this needs to load everything at first. And so I need to decide where it is. Or I guess what I can do, so I don't need to do this add content first. Instead, I can just do I'm going to try immediately calling update this stuff. Update active chunks with viz last position. So basically it should load all the stuff and then it should update it. And because it's currently only doing it in one thread, I don't have to worry about synchronization. And I don't need to defer it either. So for now, I'm going to try this. Add content, name content false, and then I'm going to update the loading again. And this should mean that in a single frame, yeah. There we go. So now nearby chunks have stuff, and I can start working on making it so that let's start outward from here. Because I want to make sure. Well, actually, let's just print like. So as I get further away from this chunk, it should despawn the inactive things, and then I can just bring them back in. And then it won't unload them until I get further away, but it'll like pause them, essentially. And hopefully that won't bust anything. Yeah, let's see. So I'll try, because this will mean that I'm removing them completely from the tree. Dynamic content active. Oh. Okay. Okay, so that's not going to work. It'll have to be in here. So yeah, print. So I want to get far enough that this node is deactivated. But I can't tell because that little guy right there is like my only tell. It's like maybe if I go really far away, I can still somehow see him. Oh wait, those guys are also... I forgot, those guys are part of the same chunk, so I'm still in here. So yeah, there's just little tiny specks for those enemies now. Let's see. Okay, and then there's a bunch of this, and then there's a bunch of this. Okay, good. Chunk 112 was deactivated. So what happens if I go back in? Okay, let's see this guy deactivate. I'm gonna remove the printing because I think that's causing a bunch of overloading. Let's see. Can I get paths? Is it? Yeah. And those are fine. Cannot get node tutorial prompts relative to dynamic content active entities. Oh, okay. So I need the So where are the tutorial prompts now? Because I think what it is... No, okay, so this is fine. So what's up with tutorial Tyler? Tutorial area, prompts node. Well, the frame rate is certainly worse than it's been. But it might be because of other things, hopefully. So I'm gonna try this again. Alright, I'm just going to start I'm just going to start, because it looks like it works, so I'm going to just start putting everything in this active entities thing. So let's see. What are the nodes immediately around chunk 112, which is where we start? So it's going to be 13, 11, 21, or 23, 4, 5. 199. Then 123, 24, 25. And then another spatial, which will just be for like inactive entities, I guess. Yeah, I'll just do like 2. Well, I'll do like zone valley. And then like zone cliffs. Okay, so I'm seeing nothing in here for now that needs those. And then down here, I would like all of these. Well, anything that's not, so yeah, all this stuff. The bugs can stay, the enemies can stay, the NPCs can stay, the race can stay. The rocks will come with me. And then zone valley still. See, I guess I'll bring in the kinematic rocks. Well, no, I'll bring in the pillar. Oh wait, whoops. Right, so now we have 2 big zones for like the big entities. And then we have a few smaller zones for the active entities. So we have like this, 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 and this. And I think I can just delete this for now because it's not going to be used for a little bit. And then hopefully this all makes it just a little bit easier. And I'll say even like everything inside this cave is going to be an active entity. In fact, everything in the medium, active right now, easy. The area cave. The mountain pickups. I guess those are fine loading in separately. And then here. Let's create another zone village. So what it should do is it shouldn't dramatically change anything. Yeah, we see here. Looks basically the same. Except there's these little pillars. What is this? Pillar hut. I don't need the pale in here. Back out to Zone Village. And then Zone Palace. And then this also goes into active entities. And this goes into active entities, into Zone Cave. There we go. So yeah, none of that stuff loads in until you're right near the border. And then for the Zone Palace, let's do the same thing with... do I want the pistol pickup here? I keep forgetting what I want to do here. Or I'm very indecisive about it. So I think I would like it to be a little bit further on that you get the pistol. Yeah, so let's just do that. Let's just get rid of that. Put this as like palace. And I can hear my stomach just going ballistic because I haven't eaten in like an hour. Oh, thank you. Yep, and I'll be taking a break in about 15 minutes. I'll do it 12:30 my time to 2 p.m. And then after that, I should be back in action. Alright, that looks good. All the active entities are now separate. And then I guess these occluders, these are mostly for, I'll put those in active entities. This might be biasing it a little bit too heavily towards active entities now though, because I basically just moved the problem around. This one's pretty easy, because currently it has no active entities. Where even am I? Huh? Oh, the whole thing is invisible. Okay, so this area. Pickups delete. Oh, and the entire interior of this thing. Yeah, actually all of this stuff. And the tower lighting. And the new checkpoint. So yeah, all this stuff can just be inactive entities. And let's narrow it down a little bit. So I think the area in which things will be active is going to be like 60 meters from the border. No, like, yeah, I think 75 is probably good. Because they're like tiny little dots. And then the distance to deactivate will be like 90. Hang on. Does this have like a visibility or something? What is this doing? Because it's like, it's invisible every time, so I think there must be something in here. Setting that by mistake. Enter tree, hide. If not engine dot is. There we go. And this thing is, oh, this is a, okay. That's because I still have issues with these baubles. Yeah. There's a bug where one of them is, like an intangible one is spawning in the center here. But okay. So basically, without active entities, this building is empty. That's good. And then there's just little bits and bobs outside. And everything else spawns in just fine. Which for this tower is quite a lot of stuff. And then zone, danger. And then these will all be there. I guess that's fine. Alright, so this is zone hut now. And then, oh. Zone danger. So I need Arena, this stuff. Let's, I guess those rocks are fine. Alright, so it should look basically the same without the active entities. Yep, just saving a whole bunch of CPU time with those inactive. This one... Wow, I've really neglected this area, I think. But okay, I'll just do a bad job for now. I can eventually split it back into nodes, or zones properly. And this is another one. And then finally, this one has nothing in it. Alright, so that should give me at least a little bit of... Hopefully I can see an improvement in performance. Especially in this area. Because it should mean that now, even when, like, detailed things are loaded... Well, let's see. So I could see that loading in. That's probably a little bit too close. Yeah. Because I can clearly see the thing loading in. Yeah, so I think it needs to be like 120. Maybe that's just, yeah, I was probably right with this. Just double that. So yeah, now it won't deactivate until I'm actually outside of the town. Even though it'll still be visible. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I'm seeing some issues here. And it's probably all to do with 113. Oh, and this, okay. So this would no longer apply here. 113 fallen only. How do I do this? So this stuff is only there if it's fallen. I don't need this group nonsense anymore. And then what else do I need? Pickups delete. What is that? 113 delete. Queue free. And I think these should also be, so these are also only if not global.stat. And these are all, I'm pretty sure, let's add another spatial. So this will be lower or tower not collapsed. That wasn't the right thing. I needed to... Okay, this thing still needs to be in the group. Delete 113. Because this, when this tower collapses, all of these pickups will be deleted instantly. Everything else will just have to deal with itself. And then this will be conditional on not capacitor 113. And we need, and this is tower post collapse. Which is there with that, there with that. And everything else should be a-okay. Let's see if that works properly. Basically, I should just not have a bunch of little enemies crawling around. There we go. And let's see, there should be... Okay, and there's fewer errors here, which is good. Though there are quite a few. Node not found. Active entities tower not collapsed. Oh, and that's because, yeah. That's because the animation only plays... I'll have to figure out how to deal with that. And also the frame rate is still pretty bad in this area. And I can't tell if it's noticeably... Yeah, I can't tell if there's any improvement in performance yet. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to keep working on that. Let's say for now. So git add dot m started on active inactive trunk system, because I think this will in the long run make it better, because I can stagger when things are loaded and have like things, you know, have like the visuals of things loaded from further away. Let's push this, and I will be back in about an hour and a half after I've gotten lunch and had something to eat. And I guess I'll continue working on this and probably convert everything to this new system today, and then just sort of play around to see if the performance works. Yeah, thank you. See you later.